Scott, teach him how to do that. What are we at? About an hour? What are we thinking? Yeah. About an hour? Okay. All right. Is it on? Is it recording? We're live? All right, let's do this. Good evening, everybody. First off, thanks for coming out on a 6:30 on a school night. Do y'all usually have meetings around this time at night, in the evenings usually? Sometimes? Okay. This is primarily petroleum engineers, but there's also other disciplines, right? We have a construction, science, IT, right? All right. So my question for everyone here is, and this is going to be one of those things where it's like, this works better if it's a conversation versus a lecture. I don't like lecturing. First off, because I don't like public speaking. All right. But second off, it's going to benefit you more. I'm here for y'all right now. Okay. I'm here to provide ideas, skill sets, maybe motivation, maybe some insight that y'all haven't heard, whether it's at an internship or in the class. But my question, real quick, let me introduce myself. My name is J.P. Warren. I'm born in Houston. I grew up in Connecticut, went to Texas A&M, graduated in marketing in 2002. Well, class of 2002, graduated in 2003. I got my master's in France, moved back, couldn't find a job. In 2005, I started off in the oil and gas industry. I started off sorting mail at Noble Drilling. I sorted mail, and I also did like a chair project where I had to like count the chairs in the office because we were ordering chairs. From there, I went to HSC operations. Macondo happened, Saudi Arabia, sales. Then I started doing, anyway, long story short, I'm here. But it's not about me, it's about you. My question is this: why is everyone here tonight? Like, what did y'all hear? What are y'all expectations for this seminar? Anybody? Lucas, go ahead. Your hand was up.
My expectation, I guess, is grow professionally, soft skills. I think soft skills isn't something that's really taught in classrooms.
Yep.
And it could arguably be one of the most important skill sets you need rather than technical skills.
That's right. Did everyone hear him about the importance of soft skills potentially being more important than technical skills? Does everyone understand what soft skills are? If you don't, does anyone not know what soft skills are? Soft skills are the ability to communicate with people, to influence people, to discuss ideas, meet people, connect with people. So soft skills really are responsible for probably about, I have some stats in here, but 80% of people's success. If you think about leaders, or whether it's industry leaders or people you look online that are leaders, probably they have the ability to influence who they're talking to. They probably have the ability to tell a story, to connect with their audience. And that's what this is for. Y'all could be 4.0 engineers. Y'all could graduate top of your class. Y'all could have the brightest idea when it comes to, and I'm in the oil and gas industry, so I'm going to use oil and gas talk. Y'all have the brightest idea to drill a well. If y'all can't communicate that to your team or to your management effectively and get them on board, then that's all it is, an idea. So today we're going to go over a lot. We're going to go over a lot, this again is a way to help you launch into your career, okay? I want to thank AED and I want to thank IEDC for sponsoring this. And for those that, I'm sure that are aware what AED and IEDC is, they have been tremendously valuable to my career, starting off in my career, meeting people, understand what's going on in the industry, and networking with people. So I highly recommend to stay involved, be involved with SPE, IEDC, and AEDE. We have a student back there, Scott Witt, who's part of AED MidCon, also on the national board, right? So if you have any questions about AED and what that's all about, please grab Scott at the end and talk to him. So here we go. With an hour, I'm going to keep this short. I'm going to keep this concise. And if you have any questions, stop me, ask, or any situations that you may be faced with, stop and ask, okay? But at the end, the reality is this: your career development, your progression throughout your career, whether it's professional growth, seeking things out, that's all on you. All right? Nobody else is going to champion you except you. It's up to you to learn the skills. It's up to you to connect with people. And it's up to you to push yourself and get uncomfortable. That is the blessing. That is the best thing to do as a professional, at any stage of your career, is to get uncomfortable. Say yes to things that might make you feel uncomfortable. All right? So coming to soft skills, we talk about percentages, how soft skills does impact your career progression. Right now, I think what it is, we've gotten so good at corresponding as a society. And again, this is one of those things where it's like, oh, kids these days, they're always on their phones and all that stuff. This isn't about that. We have gotten really good at corresponding as a society. We've gotten really crappy at communicating. And communicating is not just the words you use, telling your story or talking. Communicating is about connecting. It's about listening, understanding what the other person's coming from, empathy with what the other side's showing from, so you connect with them, influence them, and understand a little bit more. So I know some of the smartest engineers in my life. I know some of the brightest minds. However, they're always going to stay at a certain level. They're going to stay at a certain position. And honestly, in our industry, it's a very volatile industry. Without soft skills, without the knowledge of soft skills and your connections and your network, it's going to stay volatile. But with soft skills and a strong network, it does create stability in this environment. So that's kind of, at the end of the day, again, our correspondence is strong, but our soft skills are weak. And if we can strengthen that, then I'll tell you one thing. It is competitive out there. It's tough out there for y'all. I was talking to Scott today. It's a lot more challenging out there for y'all this day and age than it was previously. All right? Whether it's the time in the industry, what's going on right now, whether it's external factors, whether it's the noise of competition. There's a lot of competition out there right now. All right? So this tonight is to help you kind of break free of the competition. The good news is there's a need for y'all. The oil and gas industry needs smart, bright, problem-solving, young minds. All right? It needs people to drive change, to get us tomorrow. And also the good part is there's a want. Y'all want to get jobs. Y'all want to succeed. Y'all want to be better as you progress throughout your career than you are when you start your career, right? That's good. There's a need and there's a want. Usually when there's a need and want, that usually ties together, everything is good. That's not really the case right now. Just because there's a need, just because there's a want, doesn't mean those things tie up. Doesn't mean they connect. Tonight, what the skill sets we're going to learn, whether we're going to start off with LinkedIn, why it's important to be on LinkedIn, how to engage on LinkedIn, how to build your connections on LinkedIn. And then we're going to talk about how to build your networks strategically in person. And then we're going to kind of go into kind of how to build your elevator pitch when you're at a career fair or when you're talking to your boss in the elevator up or you bump into someone. All right? And elevator pitches aren't just for sales or anything like that. Elevator pitches you utilize throughout your career, whether it's again, what the examples I gave, even to the point of when you're talking to a stranger or you're trying to ask someone out on a date, you're giving an elevator pitch. All right, and then finally we're going to wrap up with some do's and don'ts of, and this might be some insight what I've seen in this industry, what helps people be successful and not successful. So we're going to try to build bridges between the wants and the needs of the industry and y'all, okay? LinkedIn presence, personal brand. How many people are on LinkedIn? How many people are active on LinkedIn? And when I say active, that's I don't know, 2, 3, being engaged on LinkedIn, commenting and all that stuff. Some majority, some. Okay, all right. This is such an easy tool for everyone out there to utilize. LinkedIn is out there. People use LinkedIn in the professional world. They do. Recruiters, companies. People that you aspire to be, your management, your bosses, CEOs, everyone uses LinkedIn. So if you're not using LinkedIn or you're kind of hesitant on it, we're going to kind of walk through that, kind of make you more comfortable building content on LinkedIn as well as engaging with people on LinkedIn and building your networks on LinkedIn. And if I say LinkedIn one more time in that sentence, please throw something at me. All right. So when it comes to your profile, I think a lot of this stuff, because we're short on time, a lot of this stuff is kind of, it's common. I'm going to use common sense, okay? For your profile pic, please have a professional looking profile pic, all right? I knew a guy that had the same pic for LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Bumble. It was the same thing. Change it up. Have a professional picture for LinkedIn. And the second thing that I say, I'm going to skim through this because it seems like we're already on LinkedIn, but the second thing I want to advise, the descriptive title, okay? When you're putting your descriptive title on, think about this. There's an algorithm that looks for things. Recruiters type in certain words to find people online. So if I were y'all, I would say, OU, petroleum engineer student, right? Aspiring to be a drilling engineer or aspiring to be a production engineer or something like that. So put your aspirations in that descriptive title. That makes you easier to find. It also helps connect what you're actually kind of looking for, okay? I mean, honestly, the concise summary, the showcase experience, that's just your resume. I mean, I don't want to waste time getting into that right now. I'd rather talk about how building your connections, building your online connections and in person. So in reality, have a good picture, have a concise, clear description on who you are, OU engineering student, aspiring blank, whatever that is, okay? So talk about what you're aspiring to be, all right? Your summary, you could talk about your internship, petroleum engineer, intern at Devon, worked on the drilling team, looked at drilling optimization, increased efficiencies by 15%, really enjoyed the team I was with. Don't make it just about your job. Also make it about the people you worked with, okay? And that's kind of it when it comes to LinkedIn profile. I think we all know how to do a LinkedIn profile. If not, connect with me after and we'll talk. But utilizing LinkedIn, again, it's a social media site, but again, it's a tool. It's a tool to connect with people. It's a tool to learn what's going on in an industry. It's a tool I utilize LinkedIn a lot of the times, not just to promote what I'm doing, whether it's conversations like this with students or hosting networking events, but I utilize LinkedIn to connect with people, to understand what is happening. I'm not up in North Dakota. Yeah, if anyone's hungry who wants like seconds, by all means, go get some pizza. I really don't care. This isn't like, please get up, move around. I'm fine with that. And another reason I use LinkedIn, and the reason why I put so much stuff out there, and I think this is crucial for y'all, is because of personal branding, okay? Personal branding is so big right now. And personal branding is another term for just your reputation. How is someone to connect with you just by your online presence? And that's what this is, all right? So let's get into that. So job search, industry news, yada, 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 all right? Let's talk about your online brand, your personal brand, your reputation, and then let's talk about how to connect with people on LinkedIn and why you should be connecting with people right now. Y'all are in Norman, right? Is this Norman or Edmond? I always get the north-south. Norman? Don't do that. Don't shake your head. I don't go here, just because I'm repping the colors. Anyway, so y'all are here, right? There's a lot of companies in Oklahoma City, but there's also a lot of companies out there that's not in your vicinity. LinkedIn is a great place to get the word out, to start connecting with people in companies that you want to connect with, in industries that you're interested in. And the whole point of connecting with people on LinkedIn, so the whole point of connecting with people on LinkedIn, let me get back to that thought before I lose it, is to learn from them, okay? That's what networking is right now. At y'all's stage in y'all's career, networking, obviously there's the part of needing a job, of wanting a job, but that's already said. That's the elephant in the room. Everyone knows that's there. But right now, LinkedIn for y'all should be about learning about people's career path, how they got where they're at, what advice do they have for you, what options do they recommend for you. So when you are connecting with someone on LinkedIn, and you don't have to you don't have to meet someone before you connect with them, okay? A lot of people think, I haven't met that person yet. I really would love to know what Devon's doing, but I don't know that drilling engineer. I haven't met them yet. I'm really trying to meet them. Just connect with them. Connect with them, reach out. And people really like talking to students. All right, I don't care if you're at an AED event in downtown Oklahoma Petroleum Club. I don't care if you're reaching out to someone online. People really do enjoy talking to the next generation, because first off, people like talking about themselves. But second off, people like answering questions about their career. So that's probably the lowest hanging fruit and the easiest way for y'all to get in and start meeting people is just reach out. Hey, JP, I see you're a drilling engineer over at Devon. You're from, I see you were this role and this role. I'm about to graduate in May. How did you get to where you're at? What do you recommend I should do? Do you have 15 minutes for coffee? So whenever you are reaching out and connecting with people and you are sending a message, request a time. Request a 15-minute time. Put a window on that, all right? Because people are not going to, people's time right now, unfortunately, it's so stretched and so pulled thin that not a lot of people like giving out time, right? However, if you ask a specific question, say, hey, give me just 15 minutes of your time. Tell me how you got to where you're at. You're going to get probably 2 hours, okay? So reach out to people. Ask how they got to where they're at. Be inquisitive, all right? Connect with them, all right? So you start building this. You start building your networks. You start connecting with people right here. Next, you start kind of building your content. You start engaging with people online. Hey, that's very interesting. Didn't know that. Something simple as that. Or this sounds like it would be applicable to this situation. What do y'all think? You start doing stuff like this, people are going to start recognizing. People are going to start remembering your name. People are going to start chiming in, helping you out. Hey, see, you're looking for this. If this is this applicable in this industry, meet this person that I'm friends with in that industry. You ask them. So the beautiful part about your personal brand, which is your online reputation, which is how you engage with people, is that it builds and builds and builds, and the rewards just continue to grow if you stay active, if you stay engaging with people. All right? And you don't have to know who's commenting or anything like that. If you have a thought, a question, or an experience to showcase, drop it. Who cares? Throw it down there. Like, that's another thing. Don't care so much. Like, I'll put so much stuff, I'll put so much content out there. Today, this sounds stupid. Today, I was at the airport. I filmed a lot of content in the airport, but I sat in one of those, those chairs that you pay like, $1 for, and they do that, right? You know what I'm talking about? Those massage chairs at the airport? Well, today I did content. I sat there, and I gave the September review, and it wasn't on, but I just did that. Who cares? My point is that there's a lot of people in y'all's shoes that they think they need the perfect post, or they need the perfect detail in the post. What information am I giving? Put stuff out there, all right? Make it professional. Put stuff out there. People will connect that way, okay? Again, the reason that story was is at the end of the day, have fun with it, okay? Don't take yourself too serious. Like me doing that, is someone going to think I'm stupid? Maybe. Is someone going to remember that? Maybe. But at the end of the day, I'm putting that out there as y'all should put it out there. So that's my personal brand. That's my reputation, all right? And y'all need to build y'all's too. That way it just brings people in to connect with y'all. So when you're thinking about what content to put out there, how to engage with people on LinkedIn, there's really 3 buckets that I kind of pull from. The first one is obviously valuable. What did you learn in class? Okay, so what did you learn in your internship? That might be interesting to discuss. What did you learn in class that may be applicable to the industry? And mind you, you're not just trying to network with people that are already in this industry or professionals. You're also trying to network with other SPE chapters, other student chapters. Y'all going to be working together for your entire career. Everyone in this room, it's going to be kind of cool looking back, be like, oh my God, we were in the same class together. Now you're XYZ at this company. It's going to be crazy to see y'all's trajectories go. But network with people, not just people above you that you aspire to learn from, but also people that you're sitting next to today. Okay, not just at OU, but also other SPE chapters as well. All right, experience. What experience have you had? What experience do you want to have? What experience do you think would be interesting to learn about? Talk about that experience. There's a lot of people that feel hesitant, like, man, I don't have any experience. Only, I'm still in school. I don't have much to really offer. I don't have many valuable insights, experience, knowledge to offer. You do. Again, y'all's biggest asset is that y'all are about to graduate or going to be graduating in the next few years. People love engaging with y'all. Utilize that, all right? People rather engage with students looking to understand the industry a little bit and the careers a little bit more than they would someone that's been in the industry for about 2-3 years, okay? Utilize your position right now, all right? It's a powerful position y'all are in, okay? It might not feel powerful just because I understand where y'all at. I've been there. You might not feel powerful, but it is a powerful position to be in because people want to take time for y'all. They want to take time out of their day to be that mentor to y'all. And also being vulnerable. Being vulnerable is a great way to not just showcase kind of who you are as a person, but also it allows you to connect with a lot more people. We're all human in this room, okay? We all put on this, whether it's this hustle culture of wake up, hustle and go, blah, 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 all that stuff, or it's, well, I know everything. We all know people that know it all, right? There is true power in saying, I don't know. There is true power in being vulnerable. Hey, I'm going through this. I have this experience. I don't know if I feel confident in this room. Hey, my boss called me to give a presentation to the board. I'm 22 years old. I just graduated. I'm not ready for this. What advice does anyone have out there? If you show vulnerability, that showcases, first off, that you're human, but second off, there's a lot of other people out there that are going through what y'all are going through, and that can help you out. All right. So I found out that some of the biggest connections that I've made throughout my career wasn't the times where it's, I'm blowing and going, hustle culture, rise and grind, blah, blah, blah. It's the time where things were kind of challenging and difficult, and you put that out there. And next thing you know, people experience that. Whether it's, VP, it was funny, I made friends with, actually was a CEO of a company, private-backed company, because of a personal challenge I was going with. But again, the power of being vulnerable, y'all, I know we got to put on these fronts and all that stuff. It helps you connect a lot easier, especially saying, hey, I don't know. That's okay not to know. Yeah, we talked about that. So now I'd love to, any questions or circumstances about connecting with people, LinkedIn, engaging, commenting, content, anything yet? Bueller? All right, okay. Now we're going to talk about building your network strategically. This is literally why I went into business 3 years ago. Networking in this day and age sucks, okay? Again, I said people are good at corresponding. We're bad at communicating. This is 100% true what's going on in this industry and a lot of other industries, okay? I like this concept, your network's like an insurance tree, but another way to think about this is your network is kind of like your garden, okay? You don't plant your garden when you're starving and you need the nutrients. You plant your garden when you have time, right? When you have the time, energy, and resources to go to the store, get the fertilizer, to go to the networking events, to meet people, to take time out, have a cup of coffee. And you're not burning the time between your network and when you need that next opportunity, okay? So build your networks now. Don't wait till you need them. That's it, plain and simple. Don't wait till you need your network to build it, okay? There's a lot of people that I know that I try to get to the events. So I host operator networking events, and there's some people that I reach out to that are, VPs of operations and all this stuff. Hey, come to the event. JP, I'm too busy. I'll come to that when I have a little bit of time. Okay. That's great. Well, flash forward about a year, I get a message. Hey, JP, I can finally start coming to your event right now. I have time. I can do this now. That's great. You can come now and start building your network now. But in that year that you decided not to come because you were so busy getting tied up with whether it's career stuff or personal stuff, I get it. There's been a lot of acquisitions. There's been a lot of consolidations. And there's a lot of people in your position that could do the job cheaper, probably better than you as well too, right? And so that's a lot more people on the market looking for that role that this person probably filled. But my question is this: if you start building that network, start opening up opportunities, talking to people more, it'd be a lot easier for you to land your next role. It'll be a lot easier. And this isn't just when you're looking for jobs. Relationships and your network matters. Eventually, some of you are going to get to the point where you're going to have your own companies, okay? Eventually, you get to the point where you're going to have your own companies. And listen, it's going to happen. It's going to happen pretty quick. It's your networks. Again, when I talk about networking, good for your job hunting and all that stuff, that's fine and all. But you have to think about this also. There's a lot of smart teams out there looking for their next assets they're going to pick up, right? Looking for capital that they need to buy these assets, right? If they're not connected, they're not getting a second chance to pitch their idea, okay? So it's not just when you're looking for a job to build your networks. It's throughout your career. Again, I'm talking about sourcing capital for purchasing acreage, but even finding the best technology. There's a lot of efficiencies out there that you're not going to get unless you're talking to people, unless you're learning about people, all right? So again, don't wait to build your network when you need it. Start now. I don't care if you're a freshman. I don't care if you're a senior about to graduate. Start it now, all right? Again, networking is important. I think I've kind of touched on base. We are in a very hyper-connected world right now. All right, everyone's connected. You got this many followers, connected this many people on Instagram, But how many true connections do we have that we actually pick up the phone and call, bounce an idea off? Hey, I'm faced with this opportunity. I got these offers from Devon and Continental. One's offering me this with this type of rotation. One's offering me this with this type of rotation. What would you do? That's fine to make that decision on yourself, but I find it's a lot safer and it's a lot more valuable to get outside opinions. And that's through networks, people that you want to meet, people that inspire you, all right? I love how it creates stability in volatile times. This is a very volatile industry, and it's very volatile right now in a lot of industries, right? But it's going to be the networks, it's going to be the opportunities, the connections that we know that's going to say, hey, listen, this happened to you. Hey, have you talked to this person over here? Because they're looking for someone just like you with your background, all right? This is not based off of any data, okay? I just think this portrays a concept that Professor Scott Witt back there and I discussed, a year ago about? So this concept is this. Listen, you're going to graduate. Obviously, you're going to get your job. It's going to be a lot of soft skills, but it's going to be your GPA. It's going to be your technical knowledge, right? It's going to be how you know how to approach situations. So that's going to be what you know, okay? Eventually, after a couple years, it's not going to be what you know, because at the end of the day, Drilling a well, you know these companies, it's going to be kind of cookie cutter, plug and play, plug and play, plug and play. Completing wells, you're going to figure out how to do that. It's not going to be how well you perform your job or how efficient you're going to be. It's going to be about who you know. Again, I don't care if you are the best, brightest, sharpest engineer out there. If you can't influence people to make a decision, if you can't influence people to understand the heaviness of a decision that they're not making, or to understand, hey, you got to look at this contract before you make this decision if you're in the field. If you can't get people on board, then how effective do you really think you're going to be? How effective do you think you're going to be moving people and kind of influence people to make decisions in your behalf? It's going to be very difficult, very challenging. So there is a point in your career where it's going to matter who you know versus what you know, all right? And that's the hard truth. There's a lot of people that think, if I'm just the best, keep my head down and do this, that's great. If the company doesn't get acquired and the company goes on a long time, they're going to stay as a drilling engineer too. But that's it. They're going to be a 55-year-old drilling engineer too, not really progressing. And that's fine if you don't want to progress. But I would assume everyone in this, and if you don't want to progress, that's fine. But I would assume everyone here has aspirations. Everyone here has goals. Everyone here has dreams that they want to eventually get to, right? And it's not going to be you that's going to get there by yourself. It's going to be other people helping you get there, okay? So when you're networking, let's think about this. So okay. So when we're thinking about networking, let's think about it this way. It kind of falls into three similar buckets, okay? People you should be around, people you need to be around, and people you want to be around, all right? So right now at your stage, you probably need to be around recruiters. You probably need to talk to them, find out what they're looking for, if there's any opportunities. It's a tough time right now. Hopefully in a couple months it won't be, but you never know. So you probably need to be around some recruiters, all right? Just find out what's going on. Get your finger on the pulse in the market, all right? People you want to be around is mentors, all right? Mentorship to me is one of the most, and again, when I got in the industry in 2005, mentorship was a big deal. It was, okay, JP, here's your mentor, Scott. Here's your program you guys are going to do, this and that and that. That, I feel, has gone by the wayside, okay? It's a lot, do more with less. It's a lot, everyone's sticking their head in the sand right now, right? Everyone's just, hurry up, just get their job done, all right? Don't raise your head, don't pick your head above the sand, okay? Mentorship now is up to you to find a mentor, okay? That's my advice for you. Even if the company has a structured mentor to give you, find someone at a company that inspires you. Find someone that you just kind of, man, I don't know who that person is. They got really good energy. I like how when they walk into a meeting, how they conduct themselves. I like how they address their points. I like how they communicate. Find people that inspire you, that you aspire to be. Talk to them. Sit them down. Ask them questions, how they got to where they're at. And you're going to learn a lot from them. And you don't need just one, all right? And people you should be around, probably engineers, probably the drilling engineers that you want to work under, probably other students that probably know some opportunities that you may not know by yourself. It's funny, I was talking to a gentleman that was looking for work in Fort Worth not that long ago, and he's like, man, I've hit every single operator up here. I can't find work. No one's hiring drilling engineers. Every single operator I've gone to. Okay. Well, who in the service side have you talked to? Who outside that bubble of who you want and need to be around have you talked to? Oh, no, I don't want to go in the service side. Oh, no, I want to be an operator. That's fine. But who do you think knows what the hell's happening? Who do you think has their finger on the pulse with not just one company, but a ton of companies? The service side. So that's a major resource for you if you just expand your bubble a little bit and don't just talk to the people that you want to talk to. Talk to a lot more people than that. All right, so now we're going to talk about kind of how to network in person. All right, once you actually walk in. Any questions? Any questions? Give me one question. How about that? One question. Yes?
So obviously if you start reaching out people on LinkedIn,
yeah. Yeah.
What to do in that scenario? What's the frequency of the messages that you put?
Be persistent. And listen, not everyone's going to reply.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to reply. Like I'm trying to get better, but sometimes like life's busy, you know? Number one, don't take it personal, okay? Someone doesn't reply, don't take it personal. 5 people don't reply, don't take it personal. Who cares? Keep doing it. And I would say persistence, I think, is an important thing. I think persistence is kind of related to grit, and that's something that's kind of a topic right now in the industry. When it comes to work ethic. So if you can be persistent and constantly contact someone until they say, hey, leave me alone, that's when you stop. But again, you got to think about this. Put yourself in someone's shoes. Are you going to want a long email of an introduction on who you are, your background, blah, blah, blah? No, no one has time. Hate being that way. I'm actually to the point where it's like we've gotten so good at corresponding, people don't even read emails anymore. I'm dead serious. Scott, would you concur on that? That emails are like kind of falling through people's filters these days.
Plus the volume. You get a lot of emails.
A lot of volume, a lot of emails. We're good at corresponding, not communicating, okay? So do it until, honestly, that when you feel it's comfortable. But at the same time, don't take anything personal. Like, if you're out there trying to meet someone on a genuine level and get to know them, and they're going to fire back at you or not fire back at you, who cares? Move on. You know? That's it. So keep building it. You're going to have some on the hook, some not on the hook. It's okay. So, all right. Okay, so how many people go to networking events in Oklahoma City at like AD? Thank you, Scott, besides you. All right, which ones do you go to?
I go to the SBE OKC luncheons.
Nice, okay. And what's your feedback from that?
I get to meet a lot of interesting people that are in different parts of their career.
Okay.
And also just get to learn about random things that are going on in the industry, which is pretty cool.
So wait, so what prompted you to start going to those?
I got a scholarship from them about a year ago.
Okay.
And a half ago.
Okay.
And then whenever it fits my schedule, which is usually around the summer months, I plan to go.
Okay. So does anyone else go to SPE or AD or anything, events like that in Oklahoma City at all? All right. That's a huge opportunity. Students can go to those, right? Yes. 100% they can. That is a huge opportunity to get ahead of the competition, y'all. All right? And I think you can find that. I think you go to websites and all that stuff. So here's the deal. The first step is this about networking and expanding your network in person is to be there in person, okay? That's it. I just posted something about today. There's three options you have when you go to a networking event, okay? Number one, you can go there and it's uncomfortable. You walk in. I feel for y'all. You're going into a room full of all these, people in blazers and suits and all that stuff, all standing around talking, and you're going in there as a student. I get that. I get the hesitation, nervousness, or whatever you may feel. However, people love, again, as I said, people really do enjoy taking time out and talking to students, all right, and sharing them. So my advice, go. Be uncomfortable. Inject yourself in these conversations, okay? People will stop, pause, and take you under their wing and talk to you. And you never know where that one conversation can go to. You never know where that one connection, where that can grow. I'm serious. I made a connection. Again, this is I'm kind of going off on tangent of these stories. But I had a buddy, and I had two buddies who never met before. One was at one company, one was at another. This company, this gentleman, buddy of mine, CEO, needed a strong operational person. I connected this guy who was living remotely in Waco. I connected these people. He joined the team. They built a team. They went out. They drilled some wells. They had a good time. They did this and that. They sold. They sold their company, and they all went home, crushed it. Now, would that opportunity have happened without that one introduction? I mean, maybe, but you can't say it would have happened or wouldn't have happened. So the power of one connection, you have no idea where that can go, all right? So number one, get in the room. So you have three options when you go to a networking event. The first option is go by yourself. Be awkward, stand on the wall, wait for someone to talk to you. That's fine. At least you're there. Hats off for even being uncomfortable walking in the room. The second option is grab an accountability buddy. All right? Find someone in this room, find someone in the classroom. Hey, come to this event for me. It's a lunch. It's whatever, how much it is. Come to this lunch. This person's talking. Come with me. That way I'm not that uncomfortable. Okay? And the third option is you just go solo. You start crashing conversations. And literally the best way to do that is ask open-ended questions. Hey, this is my first time being here. What are we expecting from this? Hey, it's my first time being here. Have you what kind of conversations what kind of subjects does this person usually talk about? Hey, so this is my first one. What was your favorite one of the past season? I've never been in one of these. Talk to me. Be a novice. Be vulnerable. Be okay knowing what you don't know and asking those questions. I guarantee you ask those open-ended questions without the closed-ended question, which to me it just stops the conversation. You like coming to these? Yes. Boom. That's it. That's the conversation. It's very tough to kind of pick up from there. So ask open-ended questions and just listen. All right? Because they will start talking. They will start asking you questions. So be uncomfortable, be strategic. Who's going to be there? If you're really into geothermal drilling and you're really into that, and there's a luncheon with who's going to be there? Who's going to be there that you can talk to? Who's going to be there that you can introduce and learn from and get their contact information from? All right? And then active listening. Does everyone know what active listening is? It's the concept of really just being present and listening. I mean, there's a lot of podcasts on, there's a lot of books on it, but in reality, all it is being present. Just being there and listening. A lot of people, I got to think of a question to ask this person. Man, I really better prep what I'm going to say next. Okay, well, I have this important thing I'm going to talk about next. Cut that out. The more you think about what to say next, the more you stop listening. All right? The more you stop connecting with that person. I guarantee you, if you shut that brain down and you just listen, engaged, ask questions, and just listen, be there, you will know what to say when the time comes, when you have that normal response rate. You will know what to say, okay? And also, follow up. Follow up. This is the biggest key to success, but it's the one that's often most missed. Follow up with who you meet. So you meet someone, grab their contact information, move on, and follow up with that person after. All right? Okay. How do you follow up with someone? After the event, hey, Scott, it was great meeting you at the event. Thank you so much for taking your time, talking to me about American Cement or AEDE. Really appreciate that. All right? But hey, also, another way to follow up is, hey, I just listened to this podcast about OU and AEDE. Check it out. Is this what you were talking about? Again, all you're doing is building bridges of connection, bridges of a common subject you were talking about. All right? What else? Connection to help, well, obviously. I mean, honestly, that might be a bad idea for y'all. Like, hey, listen, I got, next week is off and all that stuff. Is there anything I can help with, that you can teach me, that I can learn from? I got a week off. I got 3 days off. Like, how can I help you? Yeah, that's kind of it. And literally, it's one of those things where people are like, well, how often should I reach out? How often do I need to stay connected with them? This is one of those things where once you see something that reminds you of someone, or once you really got to get it in front of someone, you see something kind of starts you realize you know how to connect with that person, just reach out, send it to them, connect with them. All right. Now we're going to get into kind of the juice of the stuff that I like that's really going to help y'all out. Listen, LinkedIn is extremely important, okay? Networking. I mean, that's extremely important. Now we're going to talk about how to network and how to project yourself and communicate effectively, concisely, and confidently. And the reason this whole thing started was over the summer, a company contacted me and said, hey, JP, we got a couple interns, all right? I would really like, and again, this is just one company, but this is a conversation I've had with a lot of different people running companies in the industry, okay? He says, come in, I need your help, do some training with these interns, and I think there are about 8 interns about communication. They're not looking anyone in the eye when they're talking. They're not, to the point of their shoulders are even off and they're talking this way to me. Their eyes are down, they're on their phone. Come in, do a training about that. So I started doing this, and the thing is, though, it's one of those things where it's like, well, hey, communicating, that's easy. I know how to talk. I got friends I can talk to. But what about when you have to talk to a stranger? What happens when you have to talk to people that you don't know? Maybe someone in a senior position than you, right? It's a little nerve-wracking, especially when you're starting off and you're new in your career, okay? This is all about how to communicate with confidence, how to project yourself with confidence. And it's not the words you use. It's not the message you're getting across. It's how you're projecting your message. If you think about the most influential speakers out there and the most influential leaders out there, it's not their ability to, first off, they're probably not the smartest cats in the room, okay, number one. But they're really good at motivating, inspiring, and telling their story to people, right? So this is kind of where this all comes in. There's been studies out there that communication and how you project yourself. Now, I want you to think about, so now when you're thinking about this, as we talk about this for the next 20 minutes, maybe whatever, think about when you could apply this, okay? And I want you also to think about this. You don't have a lot, how many people have taken a communications course before? Okay, Scott, besides you. You kind of? Okay. Scott, first off, I love the participation. Thank you. So Here's the problem. They don't teach communication in schools, and they really don't kind of run you through that when you're at your professional career. But that's such a valuable part of your growth, of your professional, personal growth. So I want you to think about this whenever you're at career fairs, whenever you're doing your job interviews, okay? Whenever you're talking to someone, whenever you do start going to your SPE lunches, okay? How do you project yourself, okay? And at the end of the day, if you come across, again, body language is 55% of how we communicate. I could be giving you the best, juiciest leads, tips, how to get a job, all that stuff, but if I'm communicating like this, are y'all going to listen to me? Are you going to take my words for value? Are you going to walk away being like, wow, that guy knew what he was talking about. I'm really going to listen to that. He had the best knowledge because he really delivered that very confidently. When you're at career fairs, there's all this noise going on around you, right? There's all this commotion. You're fighting for time, all right? Be present. Fake it. I know, fake it till you make it. That's a real thing. If you project, people are going to portray you how you project yourself, okay? So before you go in, how your shoulders are. All right, are they back? Are you positioned up? Are you square? Are you mirroring them? Are you talking to them how they are talking to you? All right? One trick to do this, and we need to go through this because time, but one trick to do this to test your speaking skills is film yourself. Film yourself for 5 minutes, okay? You can talk about, I don't care what you talk about, your favorite movies, class, whatever it is, I don't care. Film yourself for 5 minutes. Pause, then afters, watch it without any volume. What's your body language showing? Are you moving around too much? Are you fidgeting? I had one gentleman and the intern. He would film himself and he'd just fidget there like this. He would just fidget nonstop. I'm like, bro, you cannot do that. Like, you're literally talking to like a recruiter and you're just sitting there, stop fidgeting. But I get it. There's all this nervous energy. So watch yourself. Where is your energy going? If you need to center your energy, hold something, okay? If you're talking to someone, hold something. And often, what is it called, the steeple? If you don't know where to put your hands, just put them right here. Yeah, 100%. Seriously, it's stupid. Yeah, put them right here. Like when you're talking to someone, the steeple. And then you gesture, palms up. I'm telling you, these little things, it sounds ridiculous, but this is the stuff that does move people, does inspire people, how you communicate. If I say, hey, go over here, point, that's different than doing this. I know, it's minor, it's subtle, but this is the skills that are going to help you whenever you're talking to your team, whenever you're doing a presentation and stuff like that, okay? I was talking to a recruiter for a company out of Midland, and she says, we've had situations where the person we're trying to interview, the candidate, has the best answer. But you know what doesn't match up? They're not congruent. Their body language isn't there. Their pitch and tone and how they're saying what their message isn't there. Therefore, it actually makes a recruiter feel like they're lying. Okay? So think about that. So think about also whenever you are projecting yourself, whenever you are handling we've all been there. It's like, hey, let's meet up for coffee tomorrow. Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, sure does not match up with, hey, we're going to meet up for coffee. Does it? No, it doesn't. Match your body, match your pitch, match your tone with the words that you're using. Okay? And when you are talking to recruiters, when you are at career fairs, this happens all the time. You go there, you have your stuff, and you sit there and you talk, and you're very monotone like this. You just want to press it. Here's my resume. I've done all this and this. I really want a job. Da, da, da. That's not really connecting with someone. People want to see energy. People want to see who you are, okay? So again, match your body language, your pitch, your tone, and the words you're using. Again, don't worry about the words you're using. If I worried about the words that I was using right now, I wouldn't be memorizing a script up here to speak it to y'all versus the message I want to give y'all, okay? I want to give y'all a message. I want to help y'all. I want to provide you some skill sets that y'all can learn. But if I did that through words, that'd probably be the most boring conversation. And that wouldn't stick with y'all, would it? Probably not. I want to the last 10 minutes, I'd rather do this. Let's talk about elevator pitches, right? Does everyone know what an elevator pitch is? Anyone not know what an elevator pitch is? No? Okay, that's fine. An elevator pitch, it's kind of like, think about it as a reel, okay? It really is a 60-second clip of who you are. And we're just going to use a career fair for now. We're going to use a recruiting event for now, how to build your elevator pitch, okay? An elevator pitch is pretty much a reel. You got to think about this. If you're not capturing who you are in that brief 30 to 60 seconds, then it's going to be moved on. All right, so let's get into how to build an elevator pitch, why you should build an elevator pitch, and how to practice one, okay? Because this, to me, I think this is probably one of the most valuable things we discuss, but also it's one of the things that a lot of people take away as the most valuable things we discuss. All right? You can use elevator pitches, career fairs, networking events, job interviews, LinkedIn Online, trying to date someone, whatever it is, okay? An elevator pitch is broken, I want you to think about this, it's broken down into 4 parts, okay? Think about it this way, 4 parts, because you might get interrupted. You might be distracted. You might forget where you're at whenever you're trying to communicate who you are, what you've done, what you could do for them. You might get interrupted. You might get distracted. If you break it up into 4 parts, you'll remember, oh, okay, I forgot the second block. Now I'm going to get back in the second block, okay? So it's an easy way for you to train yourself, to trick your brain, to remember what part you're on, okay? And again, your introduction, personal value add, organizational value, and conclusion all needs to be delivered confidently and concisely, okay? So, introduction. That is briefly who you are. Hey, I'm JP Warren. I'm a student at Oklahoma University, and I'm a petroleum engineer. Boom. Confident, okay? Your introduction needs to be as confident as your conclusion, all right? A lot of people, they'll practice the introduction. They'll practice the personal value add. They'll practice the 3rd block. They're not going to practice the 4th block. But the 4th block is probably just as important as the 1st block, or any of them, okay? So the first one is your introduction. The second block after your introduction is your personal value add. That is what you've done, your experience, what you really enjoyed, what you enjoyed about your internship. So if I'm doing a personal value add, first off, introduction. Hey, I'm JP. I'm an Oklahoma University petroleum engineer student. I just wrapped up with an internship at Devon. All right, I was part of again, I'm going to use the whole drilling team. I just wrapped up an internship at Devon. I worked with some great people. I was on the drilling team. And you talk about the results that you did, or a project that you were in, and what was the results of that project. We looked at drilling efficiencies. We increased efficiencies 15% across the board. Boom, personal value add. Who I am, that's what I've done, right? That's what I enjoy, that's what I've done, results, all that stuff. And if you don't have an internship or you never had an internship, that's fine. You could talk about the stuff that you're digging. Hey, JP, I'm really getting involved. I haven't had an internship yet. However, that being said, I'm really getting involved on the AI aspect or the machine learning aspect of the drilling efficiency. We've learned that in this class and all that stuff, and I'm really diving in on that. So talk about what you're passionate about. This separates you. Don't list your resume. They're sitting there with your resume. They already have your resume. If you list your resume, I've done this, 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 and this, they have nothing to talk about. They have nothing to talk to you about. They have nothing to bounce anything back off. So again, don't list your resume in this. This is your reel. This is how you keep their attention. This is how you keep them engaged with you. All right? Then you want to bring, it's kind of like a puzzle piece. Then you bring that personal value add, that, hey, I did this with the drilling thing. We increased this by 15%. Then you bring that. And that's how I can help you. That's how I can help your team, okay? So the organizational value add, I want you to think about this. This changes depending on who you're talking to, okay? So for example, if you're talking to an operator, operates in West Texas, whatever it is, or Oklahoma, whatever, that's going to change than if you're talking to a consultant company who really kind of handles everything. So again, your personal value add, try to tie that to the organizational value add. Hey, this is my previous past, what I did, what I really enjoyed, but this is what I can do for you, all right? The organizational value add. If you're at a career fair, whip your phone out. Do a little research before you go talk to someone. Okay, I know that Caesar's operating, Little Caesar's operating. Man, they just opened up three. I'm going to stay with Caesar. They just picked up 3 rigs in the Mid-Con. Okay, I can use that for this information I know. And plus, that shows that you're doing some research, okay? So your organizational value add is what I can do for you, what value I can bring to your team. Any questions yet? No? Okay, and the conclusion, that literally wraps it up. Do not waste time, okay? The conclusion, a lot of people like to ramble, well, I got their attention. I'm just going to keep here talking. I got their attention. I'm just going to stay with them. I'm just going to keep them on this hook and all stuff. Be a little empathetic. These people are probably standing on their feet for 8-9 hours. They're talking to thousands of students, okay, probably having the same conversations. If you can capture their attention in 60 seconds, hand them your resume. Hey, thanks for your conversation. I know it's kind of busy here right now, but I'd love to carry on this conversation. Or if you have any questions for me, I'd love to carry on this conversation. What's the next step? Or can I get your card? Don't wait for them to get your information and contact you. Again, your responsibility, your growth is on you, okay? Get their information. Bug them, okay? So, introduction, personal value add, organization value, conclusion. Leave that conclusion strong and end it and then move on, okay? Recruiters don't like being stuck in conversations for 15, 30 minutes because there's a lot, they have a job to do. They have to talk to a lot of people, and if you're bogarting their time, they're not going to really dig that. So, again, move on. Get their information to move on, okay? Questions, comments, observations, ideas from the back row.
What would be a strong conclusion?
Strong conclusion is, blah, 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 and I can help out your team. Thank you for your time. Can I get your contact information? I'd love to carry on this conversation potentially Tuesday if you have time, if you're still in town for coffee. Something like that. Or, hey, thanks for your time. Can I connect with you on LinkedIn so we can continue this conversation? You're always trying to do something with a conclusion. All right, there's always some sort of call to action. All right, can I get your contact info? Can we connect? Can I maybe meet the team or something like that? So you're always, the conclusion is really, thanks for your time. Let me get your contact information. Call to action. What's the next steps? When can we meet again? When can we talk about this again? I have this to show you. Good? Yes?
What are some open-ended questions we can ask companies while we attend career fair?
Open-ended question. So so first off, thank you for bringing that up because I almost forgot about that. Having 1 to 2 questions in your back pocket is extremely important. Extremely important. I'm not going to say why, but there's nothing more embarrassing. I remember this summer, the CEO comes in that room. I'm doing the training while he's intern. CEO comes in. He's like, hey, this is the company. I'm proud of it. Gives like a 20-minute spiel, right? I'm like, oh man, this is such great FaceTime and all this stuff. He goes, any questions? And the room was quiet. The room was silent. Nobody had a single question. He's kind of sitting there. He's testing it. He's sitting there for like 3 minutes, just sitting there. He's like, okay, well, hey, my advice to y'all, have a question. Like, seriously, it shows engagement. It shows that you want to be there. It shows you're curious. So, open-ended questions. So, it depends what company you're talking to. But then again, you can have some industry-based open-ended questions. Hey, I would probably make it personal because I think that resonates with people a lot. So it could be one of those things where it's like, hey, listen, what's some advice that you would have for someone in my shoes if there's all these people here looking for the same role? Like, how would you approach this? Ask them questions that benefit you. And usually if you ask them about themselves or advice that they want to give, that helps a lot. So open-ended questions, again, always have a couple questions in your back pocket. Even if you don't really care or whatever, ask those questions, okay? It opens it up and allows more space and time to actually engage in dialogue versus you pitch who you are for the next 15 minutes and take their time. So there was actually, I would say also, if there is a company that you're very interested in, do a little research, see if there's any news releases about them or if there's any updates about them or if there's some industry thing. Hey, see, they just shut down, pharmaceutical tech and blah, blah, blah. How's that affecting your industry? So have some sort of industry-specific, broad questions you can ask. How's that affecting y'all? Or are you planning for that to affect you? So that's a good thing. But yeah, always have questions. Again, you have this. You can send this out to everyone. Reminders. Start strong. Start strong. Strong start, strong finish. Have 1 or 2 questions. Maybe I wouldn't have forgot that. But yeah, be interested. Y'all, people connect with people that they're getting the same energy from, okay? I know these are career fairs. I know this is the end of the world if you don't get this job and you're going to have to go back and live with your parents. I understand all that. I get it, all right? But listen, if you're not showcasing who you are as a human, all right, who you are as students, then you're missing out majorly on opportunity to connect with someone, okay? People want to work with people that they connect with. People want to work with people that they like, okay? So when you are talking to them, be interested. Like, it's funny, like whenever I've noticed this a lot, whenever you're talking to someone and they're asking for, I'll host these things after people come up and talk to me, and it's like they'll come up and like they're talking. They'll ask a great question, and I'm talking to them, and it's very just a stoic face, like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I'm very interested in that. I love that so much. What's happening there? The words are not matching up with the body language. The words are not matching up with the tone of voice and the inflection, right? Be human. Loosen up a little bit, okay? All right? I guarantee you're going to connect and have a lot more fun, and that's going to be a lot more, people are going to jive more with that than they will if you're just very, yes, I love it. I go to school every day at this time. I love studying. Like, be human, okay? All right? Guarantee you're going to have a lot more success if you start connecting with people based on who you are, okay? Navigating the energy industry. Do we have, 5 more minutes? Do we have 4 more? Yeah? You all good? You good? If you don't, then leave. That would break my heart, though. Okay, all right. Y'all, this is just kind of some observations, kind of from feedback, some like random things. I'm going to go on some. If you see something you're curious about, stop me. I'll dive into that, okay? Number 1, be proactive. Nobody is going to champion your success but you. Nobody is going to build your network, find your next job, connect you to this person but you, okay? Whether it's your growth, skill sets to learn, going to stuff like this. So I love meeting people that are like, oh yeah, I just saw this flyer, I came here. They're taking that initiative on themselves. Be that. Be your own champion, okay? At the end of the day, there's a lot of competition out there. It's very tough right now. Be your own champion, okay? Be proactive. Get their contact information. Don't wait for them, I'll call you. Yeah, let's give me your contact information, okay? Work on your elevator pitch. Practice your elevator pitch. This, I would challenge y'all, if y'all do study groups, take 5 minutes. Everyone do their elevator pitch. Take 5 minutes and some person stands up and gives a public presentation on, we're going to go over this today, group, okay? Start making these scenarios for yourself to get uncomfortable and work on these soft skills, your presentation skills, okay? Research industries, yeah, do communicate. That's why we're here. Yeah, don't leave with a company. Watch your pints and quarts, okay? There's a lot of times that the oil field's fun. Oil field is a great, great time. The people are amazing. The tech is amazing. It's like NASA. It's like the space industry on steroids, in my opinion, all right? My advice to you, we like having fun. Try not to have too much fun, okay? All right? Seriously. There's a lot of happy hours. There's a lot of open bars, okay? There's a lot of opportunity to have a good time. You're also, whether it's an internship, that's a 3-month job interview, okay? So make sure, listen, it's a good time, but be responsible about that, all right? Don't wait for things to happen. And don't be stuck in your plan, y'all. This industry, people are always like, how did you get in this industry? There's no clear set pathway, okay? A lot of people have plans they just want to stick with. Okay, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get this degree, I'm going to go to this role, then I'm going to go to this role, then I'm going to get over here, then I'm going to go over here. I don't want to see anything off of this, off this path. Trust the process, not your plan, okay? If I stuck to my plan, I'd be in Paris, France right now, burning heaters and having wine for lunch, okay? That's not happening. Instead, I decided to sort mail. I decided to work offshore. I decided to go to Saudi Arabia. I decided to do all this different stuff, but it wasn't part of the plan. But think about the people that you meet along the way, the opportunities that open up, the stories that you have. You never know what can happen by saying yes to an opportunity, even if it's not part of your plan. All right? Set your goals, okay? We live in common seasons, okay? Everyone has the same seasons we live through, okay? It's holidays, I'm going to get busy with this, I'm going to get real active with this, then I'm going to start job hunting here, then I'll start networking here, and then back to holidays, back to this. Set goals, okay? Get out of ruts, okay? Whenever you find yourself complacent, whenever you find yourself comfortable, get out of that. Challenge yourself, all right? And be okay with not knowing. The longer I've been in industries for 19 years. 19 years, all right? The longer I'm in this industry, the more I realize I don't know, and that's okay, all right? There's a lot of stuff to learn, and it's okay not knowing everything. And if you think you know everything, I would highly advise you to listen and ask open-ended questions because chances are you don't know everything, all right? Wear more hats. Again, this is from a conversation with the other, Diamondback. Wear more hats. If this is a... Yeah, in here, exactly. In class, thank you. No, but seriously, this is one of those things where it's like, Just because you're doing your job, hey, my job's doing A, B, and C, do D and E. Walk down the hallway. Hey, I don't even know anything about D and E. Can you teach me that? Hey, I don't know anything about this. Teach me this. I want to help out. Don't be stuck in your box, okay? Try to find value and learn stuff and help other people out, okay? Take it. We talked about that. All right, don't wait on others. Yeah, hey, listen, we also all have a lot of things. I'm not even getting into this, limiting beliefs. I do talk about limiting beliefs and imposter syndrome a lot. Imposter syndrome is something that a lot of students face, and it's something that gradually builds and builds the higher you go up in your career. It's the belief that your success is pretty much based on luck. Like, who am I to go sit at this table or present to the board or go have this meeting or get this job? Like, I'm not qualified for this job. There's a lot, 70% of people, actually that was back in the 80s, 70% of people in the 80s felt some sort of imposter syndrome. They experienced it. I deal with it constantly. Like, who am I to talk to a group of engineers? Who am I to talk about to the next generation of engineering? No, like, who am I? No one. That's the thing. That's a challenge I face with constantly. Y'all, I'm sure it's one of those things that y'all are going to be faced with these challenges too, these limited beliefs. Like, you're not ready for that. You can't do that. Don't listen to that. Those are beliefs that you put on yourself, probably from some childhood stuff, okay? But challenge those, all right? Your beliefs can change. Change them, all right? And again, I love this subject. I'd love to dive into it, but I'm not going to at the time. Don't stop improving, all right? Again, staying comfortable. All right. Again, these are... And that's just the connection, so connect with me. All right, so listen, I know we only had an hour for this, okay? We kind of went over a lot. I'm going to stick around here for a little bit. I'd love to talk more. If there's any questions, y'all don't have to leave now. We can kind of dive into a subject that you're interested in and kind of talk about more. What's going on? Where are we at? Yes?
Regarding mentors, how do you go about finding somebody like that is willing to invest the time in you?
Well, I think when it comes to mentors, Scott, help me out with this. I think when it comes to mentorships, first off, you don't need one, okay? I think when it comes to mentorship, find people. You know, there's different people in different positions and different organizations that you might feel inspired by, right? So finding mentors, it's really just kind of observing people and say, what is that person? Like if they inspire you, they motivate you, those are the people that you want to learn from, in my opinion. So seek out people that just have that, whether you call it a vibe, energy, it doesn't matter. Seek out people that you want to aspire to be, okay? Connect with them. And literally, you don't have to say, will you be my mentor? Don't do that. Just ask them questions. Mentorship is just a relationship. That's it. It's a relationship between someone with more experience and someone with less experience. So all you're doing that less experience thing, you're asking them questions. Mentorship is not going to be up to the company to provide y'all. That's going to be up to y'all to find, okay? And it's actually beneficial and it's fun to find mentors because first off, they got some good stories, but second off, you're going to learn a lot, and you're probably connected to that way. So get several mentors, all right? What else? Yeah?
When you do find a mentor and you reach out, or maybe not just a mentor, like a network,
Yeah.
what kind of information would you want to give out?
Would you want to what?
Like, what kind of information about yourself would you want to give out?
Oh, I mean, well, first off, you want to, the elevator pitch. Hey, I'm JP, I'm a student. I really haven't had an internship yet, you know, but however, I'm really liking the Petroleum Engineering 101 class. I don't think that's going to go with me. 101 class. I really like that. However, I don't know how to translate that class to a career. How did you go from where you're at, because I see on your thing you were over at Halliburton, now you're over at, how did you get to where at Halliburton? How did you get to Devon? How did you make that move? Just ask questions. You can talk a little about yourself, 100%, but that's going to come naturally through conversation. But yeah, it's definitely say you're a student, definitely say what you're studying, definitely say what you're interested in, and then pose the question. And again, when you are reaching out to someone on LinkedIn, y'all, don't do that. Don't novel it, okay? Keep it short and sweet, and again, it's a numbers game, okay? So send it to a couple people. And that might be one of those things too. It's like you might meet someone and say, hey, listen, I don't have time right now, but I'll tell you what, you got to connect with Scott. He'd be someone that kind of walk you through this. They might point you to someone else. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you said that we should ask at least one or two questions.
Yeah.
But do you know what shouldn't we ask? I mean, is there wrong questions?
I mean, I think that's kind of, okay, yes. Yes, I would say, I was going to, maybe no, but maybe there might be. Maybe there might be some wrong questions. So number one, if you're asking a question, don't have that question be something that is favorable or easy for you, okay? So hear me out. So if you're talking to a recruiter, don't be like, hey, so what's the possibility I could work from home? You know? Or like, hey, what's the possibility where I don't have to work past 3? So questions that kind of showcase, wow, this person's not willing to work, this person doesn't have grit, or this person really doesn't want to go, above and beyond. It's funny, it's not even pertaining, but I'm just remembering this. My buddy was at a company, and he shot an invite out to about 15 interns, right? And this just talks about networking going down the hallway. He sent about 15 interns. I go, hey, how many are showing up? He goes, I have no idea. What do you mean you have no idea? Nobody responded. He goes, when I got an email when I was interning from someone in a senior position, I would go down the hallway, introduce myself. Hey, I can't make this, but thank you. What's this all about? I'm JP. Who are you? He would introduce and talk. Not one person went down his hallway and introduced themselves or said, thank you for the email. Thank you for the invite. What does that do? That tells him that they're at this 3-month job interview, how is he going to recommend someone for a full-time hire when there's only 2 positions? He can't. He doesn't know anybody. So, again, that doesn't tie into the question thing. Real quick, I'll just kind of bring up a story. Whenever you do get an internship, go introduce yourselves. Go peep your head in people's offices. Introduce yourself. Some people might not like it. Who cares? Some people will. So go introduce yourself and talk to people. I would say when it comes to questions, if you are curious what to ask, make it something about a career. Make it something about the industry. Don't make it something about like, man, I heard that y'all give every other Friday off. Is that true? Like, don't make it something like that, But seriously, that happens. I was in one thing. Someone goes, I go, what type of things would you say to recruiters? And someone's like, oh, I'm willing to work from home. I'm like, no, because that doesn't showcase. Listen, again, whole work from home, flexible. I don't care your stance on that, but a lot of companies now require people at the office. That helps teamwork. That helps problem solving. People just like it. Okay, so. That's the advice. Yeah.
Going back to your public speaking portion, I know like a lot of us have to do like project presentations,
Yeah.
internships, and like a big struggle for me at least is like remembering like maybe specific information. I remember some broad points, but then I kind of blank when trying to go through.
Well, let me ask you a question. What kind of specific information?
Like maybe I know the basics of artificial lift system.
Okay. That's going to come through time. Okay, that's going to come through time. Again, you're not giving, you're going to know some key things about that, okay? But you're not, I think I passed it. Go on me here. You're not going to be giving a speech on number. No one's going to remember that. If there's a number that you're not going to remember, put that in the presentation. I don't know if it's 7% or 17%. Put that in the presentation. Don't trip up the message. Don't trip up your presentation based on the words. Remember, 55%, 38%, 55% body language, 38% is tone and pitch and all that, 7% is words. If you're talking to me, you're presenting yourself, you're telling your story, hey, this is the problem we had, this is what we did, this was the solution, this is the lessons learned. I'm going to listen to that a lot more than I'm listening to the details about a grading, a percentage, a number, or something like that. And that's the thing though, a lot of times people give public presentations like, oh man, I said once, or I stuttered. No one remembers that. Nobody remembers that. You don't remember. So when you are giving a presentation, first off, practice, okay? Don't practice the words. Practice the message. Does that make sense? A little bit?
I'll just make points of what you want to say.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Man, if you have a tough time, first off, no one expects anyone in this room to be a perfect public, no one's a perfect public presenter, okay? But I would create opportunities for and your group to practice that stuff. Hey guys, let's do a mock presentation, all right? Like, I think I'd rather let's do that than go grab go to, what's the place we went to?
O'Connell.
Yeah, let's go there, then go to O'Connell's. Hey, look at me, I'm a Sooner. But create environments where you can do that. That way you're just gonna get more comfortable. That way when it is your first year on the job, they're like, hey, you got a presentation? Okay, not a big deal. I've done this before, And honestly, when you are giving presentations to each other, critique each other. Seriously, critique each other. That's the only way you're going to grow, because once you get to the corporate world, no one's going to critique you. They're going to walk up like, oh, that was boring. That's all they're going to say. If you can master that now, or at least work on it now, And it's a skill set, y'all. Y'all didn't know how to play pickleball, or y'all didn't know how to use TI-83 pluses, all right? That was a skill y'all learned. Presentations, communications, that's a skill set you can learn too. So if you just practice it, it's only going to get better. Just like your elevator pitches. So I would just say, don't worry about those details like that. I mean, at the end of the day, unless someone really cares about that and starts grilling you about that, then they're having a bad day.
Can I add on to that?
No. So anyway, yes, you can.
So I've sat at, I was 18 years at Halliburton, and I've sat and listened to a lot of breakout presentations, right? And everywhere you go, right? Any operator, service company, you're going to do some kind of breakout presentation. We're going to ask you what you know. There's going to be, I've sat and listened to complicated presentations. There's a handful of numbers you need to know. Everybody in that audience, except for me, typically is an engineer. And you know how engineers are because you're surrounded by them all the time. They're going to ask you so many questions and you're not going to know. But it's okay to say, look, I don't know this, but I can find out.
Yes.
I know how to find this out. Make sure you always know how to find out. I get asked for customer stuff all the time where I say, well, I don't know, but I'll find that out, because it's complicated business sometimes you're in. But yeah, don't worry about those things. But you will get, every time you go to a breakout, there's going to be an engineer in the room, and you'll be that guy one day that's going to ask that extra question that no one knows.
Yeah, just to sound smarter than everyone else. Yeah.
Well, but they're just going to push you to see how you respond in that situation. So be prepared for that situation, because they're going to try to make you uncomfortable on purpose, right? And customers will too.
So Scott, I love how you just said that. Like that piece of advice of if you don't know something, don't BS them. Don't. I don't know that, but let me get that to you and let me get that to you by Tuesday. Try to put some frame, let me get that to you by this time. Put some frame on that. But yeah, don't lie, don't try to fluff it, don't try to sound like you know something when you don't. Just, hey, I don't know, but I'm going to get that for you. I'll get to you by then.
So if you say you're going to follow up,
100% follow up. 100%.
follow up means a lot in any business.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you.
No. But I love that piece of advice, though. But again, put yourself in situations where you can practice this stuff. Hey.
What is Crew Club?
Oh, Crew Club? Oh, man. You got to ask about Crew Club? You don't know about Crew Club. No. Crew Club started. That's another company that I run. So Crew Club is pretty much, it's there to have operators connect and converse with each other. So pretty much this. As networking is a need in this industry, however, operators have stopped networking so much because a lot of things turn to price. No one likes being sold to, okay? So a lot of times, operators don't go to networking events because they're hounded, right? It's like, hey, when are you picking this up, when you're picking this up? I think that's dangerous for operators to do, and I think that's dangerous for service companies to do, okay? So so Crew Club formed because operators stopped going out. They stopped learning this stuff. Y'all, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. I'll see y'all later. But, and before everyone goes, we will get a group photo, and we'll just Photoshop them in. But Crew Club is really, so what it is, it's just networking events, about 20 people. We have a dinner. We sit around, we have an industry topic, and it's usually, so it's probably about, if there's 20 seats, 15 operators, 5 service companies, and we usually just sit around and we kind of talk about industry topics such as M&A, AI in the oil field, leadership. So it's pretty much, hey, if you're an operator, you come in, you pick, hey, this is really on my mind, and we kind of have a roundtable discussion about that. So it's small, a group, kind of go through 7 different locations, and the goal is to create genuine connections between operators and service companies, have great conversations that actually push the industry forward, and without any solicitations. So that's it. Yeah. Is that not there? If that's not here, my email is no, it's not. Oh, it's jp@connectioncrew.com. Just connect me on LinkedIn, though. But yeah, hey, listen, y'all. I want to thank y'all for being here. I'm going to stick around a little bit after. Thank you for putting this together. Lucas enjoyed it. Y'all, this stuff, listen, again, y'all could be the smartest, brightest, best engineers, but if you're not influencing people, you're not connecting with people, first off, it's going to be a lot more difficult to find a job. And then once your career grows, it's a lot more difficult to find opportunities, to understand technology. and it's going to be a lot more difficult just to get the ball moving forward and to influence your team. So practice these skill sets now. Create opportunities for you to practice these skill sets in your study groups, okay? Create fake presentation times where you can practice and work on this, because this is what's going to allow you to not just get your first job, but allow you to actually succeed. All right, and I'm very confident about that. I do know that. I do know a lot of smart people that aren't really climbing, and they never will, because their lack of ability to deal with people. So, does anyone have anything else?
What's been your favorite piece of advice?
My favorite piece of advice? I got 3, first off. First off, just do it. Like, literally. Like, we all have these, I have to do this before this happens, then this. Stop. Carve out time and actually go out and do something. Take action. Take action. Stop analysis paralysis. That's a good piece of advice. Second piece, well, besides building your network, the second piece of advice is don't listen to your limiting beliefs. Like, that is the biggest challenge. And that kind of ties in the third one is how we talk to ourselves mentally. Like, oh, God, I'm not going to get this. I'm never going to do this. I'm not confident. Da, da. That's how people are going to perceive you, okay? We are our own worst critics in life, okay? We're constantly talking trash to our own selves. We are. We say stuff to ourselves we wouldn't say to anyone else. Change how you talk to yourself, okay? Change what you believe in yourself and how you talk to yourself. I think that has directly influenced what I've been able to achieve, and where I'm going to go is how I talk, because that helps. Because think about this. You're going to be set up with a lot of challenges, a lot of roadblocks, a lot of hurdles in your career. If you handle that like, God, another thing happened to me, a victim mentality, God, I'm never going to do this, then you're never going to do it. However, you start to, no, this is an opportunity for me to kind of pivot, learn, grow. This sucks, but how can I grow from this? What can I learn from this? So my piece of advice is change how you talk to yourself, get active, get out there and actually do something, and be uncomfortable. Be uncomfortable going up to someone and shaking their hand and saying, hi, my name is, be uncomfortable taking opportunities that are halfway around the world. You're like, whoa, that's nowhere, I'm not comfortable with that. If you start limiting yourself geographically, you're going to limit yourself vertically, okay? So just say yes. If it's after 5 and they're like, hey, stick around, we want you to work on something, stick around and work on something, so yeah, that's it.
Do you have any good ideas for students to kind of get or more practice public speaking?
More advice?
Or more practice in public speaking, like?
Yeah, I would say if you're practicing public speaking, first off, all you got to do is literally take your phone out, film yourself. Again, watch it. What's your body language doing? Second off, pick up the cues, the hums, am I going up, am I going down, right? Second thing is I would start following people, change your algorithm on your socials, change it, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, change your algorithm, find people that are good at public speaking, and just scroll through that. That's the way you're learning right there. And the third thing is do it. Literally do it. Create those environments where you can get together in groups of 4 or 5, 6, doesn't matter, and do a 5-minute spiel and have your buddies pick it apart. Not too hard, but hey, listen, you're pacing around too much. Stop. Or hey, your hands in your pocket fidgeting. Don't do that. So, number 1, practice. Start following people on your socials that are good at public speaking, and put yourself in those scenarios. And just do it. Yeah. That's kind of the only practical advice I have. So, all right. Anything else, everyone? I'm going to be around, sticking around after. What? No, y'all need to form a group, public speaking engineers. All right. Before we go, y'all, we got to do this. You know what we're doing. Take it easy. It's a tripod. All right, y'all. Can we come up to the front if that works with everyone?